Here, you have to begin to determine what your threshold of damage is. I have a fairly high threshold of damage. I can take a look at a plant and see a fair amount of damage, and I'm okay with that. I have a friend who has a very low threshold, and one little hole in one leaf, she's up in arms. And in fact, I think she's got all the leaves counted, so that she knows exactly what's there. But anyway, for instance, I have 2 pine trees that were in with the rest of the snow barrier, wind barrier, and 2 of them got a lot of sawflies on them. There were hundreds of them. Now, I watched them for a couple of days and I said, no, I'm not going to do anything with them. They, of course, matured. They flew away. The following year, the branches came back. I had no sawflies. I don't know what happened to them, where they went, or what happened. But, this is the way I handle a lot of my insect problems, because of that high threshold. Now, if you have a medium, that's a little different. That's up to you. How do you want your garden to be? So basically, once you've determined your threshold, then your next step is monitoring it. And monitor, do it daily. My dog and I used to go out every morning in the summer and walk around the garden, checking the vegetables, the flowers, the trees, the shrubs, everything. And of course, that did the dog good, but it also did me good. Because I knew what was pretty much going on with the insects in the garden. There were times I would find small patches of aphids. Well, usually aphids I left alone, because I see them as a prey item that the predators will like to eat, and I want to keep the predators in that area. So basically, I wouldn't do anything with them. And this is the way a lot of my stuff is. I let them chew on it, eat, destroy it maybe, but not completely. For instance, tomato hornworms, those little things with that spine on the end, they'll usually eat about maybe 2 branches of my tomatoes before they're attacked by a wasp. And they're going to die, so I let them go. In fact, I want to let them go, because they'll hatch out new wasps. So basically, this is monitoring time. And as you monitor, you need to be aware of what the insect is. And this is where I recommend good handbooks. You need a good handbook to determine what is that insect. And of course, with caterpillars, you want to know, is that a bad caterpillar or a good one? Now, a good one usually is with butterflies and moths. A bad one would be more like the sawflies and stuff. But basically, you also probably need, maybe, if you're really serious about understanding what the insect is, a little microscope. You can get these hand microscopes and you can look through up close, and determine what that insect is. Particularly if you're looking at real small insects. So basically, this is what you're looking for. Now the second step is biological. And here you'll notice that biological has several things. For instance, plant selection. Select a variety that you know will be hardy in this area. There are times, like I'll even plant a Zone 7 plant. I have at least 3 Zone 7 plants growing in my garden. They've been with me a good many years. I have a Poncertus, which produces small orange-like fruits that makes a nice, well, I'm going to call it orangeade, but it's more like a lemonade, and you've got to use quite a bit of sugar with it. I have a banana that has stayed outside for at least 5 years now, and each year it comes up. And I have other plants that are ornamental that have lived with me. So if you want to try jumping a zone, go ahead, try it, realizing that you may not succeed. I've had several good failures. When you go shopping for plants, how do you look at them? For instance, do you take a look at the plant and see how healthy it is? Now you have to realize that most plants here would be grown well. But check. I like to take a plant out of the pot and check the roots. Are the roots fully developed? Are they good, solid roots? That would be a good selection. You need a good root system. It's not the top that is important, but it's basically the roots that are important, because they're going to feed the plant. And when I buy a flat of flowers, usually there's blossoms on it, because that's what gets you to buy. So when I get them home and I start planting them, I take all the blossoms off. I don't want them sapping the strength of the plant. I want that root system to develop so that they will produce more blossoms. I planted an anemone, a blue anemone that had nice blossoms. Well, I wanted to take a good picture of those, so I waited a couple days, and I left them and I forgot them. I got my picture. Well, that plant died. I think the blossoms had sapped the strength because it didn't develop a strong root system. At least that's what I think. So basically, these are things that are cultural. Then you turn to biological. Biological deals with kind of things like insects. For instance, if you'll notice on the sheet that you have, it lists insects, predators. If you have a lot of insects, you can usually bet that they are the prey insect. If you have only 1 or 2 insects around, they may be the predators. Because predators, like animal predators, are usually solitary. For instance, take a look at the deer population. How many of you have problems with deer? At least 1 or 2 or 3, 4. So basically, why do we have the deer problem of today? Huh?
Everybody wants to shoot rain.
Oh, everyone, well, that's the problem. Too many deer, but where are the predators? What would be the predators? Wolves, cougars. Now, have you seen a cougar or a wolf around here recently? Huh?
Coyotes.
Coyotes, but they don't hit usually deer. They usually hit smaller critters. Now, they'll take a fawn out, but not usually a big deer. Who are the predators of the deer today?